Alright folks, welcome to this exciting adventure when you once again join us in the middle of the Scottish countryside. And once again, we're joined by the channel DJ. And today, look, we're in this landscape. Look at these hills, they've still got snow on top of them. And that's like Glen Doll up there. So we've parked here in the wee Honda. In the summer we were here, because there's a secret cave up on this hill. So we thought, what a better time to come. It's just such a crazy landscape. And we thought we'll take YouTube on the adventure with us once again. Into this crazy wilderness, folks. The ground here is saturated. And just check how many rocks is up here that's fallen off the hill. Here, remember we found a stone which was balancing on top of the other stone up there? Yeah, it's incredible. Anyway folks, we're away to climb this cliff up to the cave, and I'll update you once we get up there. Look at it, it's just water running off the hill. Sheep and stuff run about up here, I think, most commonly. I can see a few sheep up here. These cliffs are so massive, it's like mind blowing, folks. Water's running down here, you can hear it. The size of these hills here though are just mind blowing. Look at this, folks. We're literally cave hunters out here, just finding different little caves and stuff underneath all these rocks. It's just like an infinite number of like stony patches. I don't even know how to describe it. The way these rocks have landed when they've rolled down the hill. There's just so many crazy like little cave areas and dangerous bits too. But we're making our way up to the best cave, which is further up. And looking for here, you can't even tell it's there. Yeah, there's been an avalanche since the last time we were here. Because these pebbles weren't here the last time.
So covered in the path.
Wow. Yeah, last time when we came here in the summer, this was no here. All these pebbles, and it just shows you it's dangerous often to be in certain weathers or situations in these hills, because even though the rocks have been sitting for years, they can move. You can get trapped somewhere under the ground or whatever. Check it out, this is what we thought was a cave from further back. It's just a massive stone here which has landed. Probably a shelter for some wild animals now. Wow, this is a crazy size of a rock here. Look, all these rocks in this section here are just massive. This is insane, folks. When you come to a bit of landscape like this, it's just breathtaking. And literally the rain is off now, which is pretty amazing, because there's been some crazy rain today. Yeah, the size of these rocks here, mind blowing, folks. Look at the size of that one. Crazy times. This is super steep, this hill, but it is worth the walk once you get up here. It's like coming to another planet. It's like from our last adventure at the coast when it was raining heavy and the big waves were coming in. This is the same day as that, and here we are, like this wild landscape. It's like mind blowing with the snowy capped mountains in the distance. These massive rocks all around, folks. Absolutely insane. Look at that, there's just big holes everywhere under the rocks. Probably the sheep get a shelter there now. Channel DJ up there. Cliff climbing. We're both just picking a route up through this landscape, folks. Check it out, that's the valley leading in there, Glen Clova. And then up this way, Glen Doll. The wee Honda's just chilling down there. Crazy, folks. Crazy environment. Oh, this is insane. There's evidence of fresh rock falls around this area, folks. Sometimes in the winter the ice can like spread the rocks and crack them and they fall down the hill. Yeah. This here is freshly landed. It's comfy up there. That's how it's dangerous to go into the caves. Oh, there's a dead sheep. This was here in the summer. So these rocks was probably here in the summer. Do you think this rock hit the sheep? Is the rock on the sheep's head? It is, eh? That's insane, folks. This sheep was hit by a fallen rock. Crazy. Like, you never ever know what you're going to find. It's insane. And the approach to this cave is insane as well. Look at it, that's the secret entrance up there, folks. If anyone comes here, they must stay safe. Like, so literally it's just a wild hillside. It's a wild approach. We've made it, folks, look at it. Wow. We're in the cave. The reason we thought we'd come up here today is because the rain is so extreme everywhere. We were thinking it would rain here. Child, he's just trying to get my attention. What is it? Oh, hi. A fresh bottle of Corona. No way. So people's probably been chilling up in here partying. No way, folks. Check it out. Look at this landscape. There's a cool waterfall at that side, and it would be fun one day maybe to follow the waterfall up the hill. And we'll try and see where it all like comes from. There might be wee locks up there. Who would know? Check this out below me. It's a drop. And there's a crazy cave in here, folks. So we'll go for a look. I'll get my torch on as well. Yeah, it's soaking. That's how it's probably really dangerous just now. Look at that rock up there, that could just fall at any moment. Let's get going, eh? Go down into this. Try and no cause an avalanche. Look at this, folks, we're making our way down, look. And there's this cool bit with the wee stairs. It's such a cool secret cave. I was scared because that rock up there looks like it's could fall down. Any of these rocks could. But check it out, folks, this cave goes way back up in here. Something that you get in this country, folks, adders. And I think a cave like this is perfect for them. They could be lying away up in there hibernating. That cave goes way up in about, I would say about 5 or 6 metres up round the corner. And then this down here, look, goes right round the corner. It's absolutely insane. And then there's like a secondary emergency escape right there, which you could get out and in. Wow. This is so cool. People's got a little table down here with like tea lights and stuff and matches. I think people do sit in here now and again. I remember I was going to come in here and do like a Halloween special and light some candles, place them various places, and because it's an eerie environment, but I'm not sure if it would be a haunted environment or no. Anyway, folks, we'll go back up out here to the entrance and see what's cracking. I think last time I was here I noticed there was some ancient graffiti on the wall here. See that, folks, it goes up that way a bit as well. The way the rocks have come and fallen, it's created this huge cave. See, it goes way around the corner there.
Yeah.
It's insane. And this looks like it's been worn out by water flowing. This stone here, which is quite interesting. Yeah, the last time I was just walking out here, I noticed. Oh, there it is. Look, 1958 is scored into the wall here. So you can just imagine somebody up here maybe camping at the side of the hill or even just climbing the hill. 1958, folks. Insane. So there you go. Another bit of wild Scotland. Sometimes even if you've been somewhere, the adventure to get there, and when you see stuff like this, it's always worth going. And it's so cool just to make videos. Sometimes years ago if I went places I wouldn't even record it and I was going on crazy adventures like this. At least now we can take YouTube along on the adventure with us. And yeah, it's dangerous to say the least, this location, but totally worth it. Because that cave is just something else. It is literally like a wild Scottish movie set. But the movie is literally BKR. Getting the movie out here exploring. Channel DJ, shout out. Again, we're on these adventures all the time. Like, wow. You forget how crazy something like this looks until you come back. The way these rocks and everything are. Like, that's what's holding up the roof of the cave. And like, obviously that rock looks like it's fallen down and that shape has perished. But that rock must have come from over the top of here. From some of those like cliffs, which is way up at the top of the hill. But yeah, sometime, once the weather gets a bit better and there's less rain, folks, we're going to follow one of these waterfalls. That one there looks like it's got a cool waterfall. In the summer it could be fun just to go to that even. But then maybe in the summer there wouldn't be so much water running in there. Yeah. Who knows? See up that hill, it looks like there's a cave. That big triangular shaped hill there. There's a cliff face just near the top. And it looks like there's a cave, bigger than this one. But this one's hard to see, folks, and looks quite hard to find if you don't know exactly where it is. But like literally it's quite close to the main road, as you can see there. And yeah, it's funny, there's somebody left a Corona in there as well. They're probably going to get it next time they come back. And it'll be ice cold, refrigerated here in the Glen. It's crazy to be in here and you hear the water dripping down all around your head. See, when we go out here, we should here look up the side at that emergency escape. That other entrance that's into the tunnel. In the summer you could get in that other way, but it's too wet today. Crazy, folks, I can hear the roar from the river. That rock's just wedged in there. From here it just looks like a small little cave here, and you didn't even realise it goes way around the corner into a whole like underground little world, like a little living room in a house. People could have been coming here for way back, pre-history, folks, back in the days we don't even know of. Could have been crazy. But it does look like this rock here is worn from water or something flowing against it at one time. But I don't know if that was before it was lying here. Again, I think this has come down the hill at one time. So it is insane, like. The whole landscape here, it's just mind blowing. And then this crazy view. What are you seeing?
In that big rock that we've seen someone rock climbing. Right, see the big rock behind it? Did you not remember there used to have to be a jump?
Maybe,
between the two of them. A lot of these rocks could have moved during that big storm.
It's true though, 'cause look, it looks like there's a freshening like down there.
Yeah.
Some of them looks like they've been bouncing and hitting and moving. Any of these stones could roll at any time, so that's the thing. Even these ones, they're all loose from the rock face. Look at that, folks, for a crazy cave scene right there. That is insane. I was just taking a few more photos. I got the channel DJ to move away so I could take some photos. That's terrible when you're like that, when you're a YouTuber, folks. He's enjoying the view. I feel guilty. Look at this, there's ferns growing in here. Crazy. Bit of nature there, just grasping onto the rock face, trying to survive. Getting watered here by the drips of water. Anyway, it's crazy, folks. We're about to head round for this cave and see if we can see in the other side of that, where that light passage is at the bottom. Because it's like down a level from here. It's quite cool how there's like steps. Somebody's laid stones in like that. Which is amazing. It's actually nearly pitch dark and it's like coming out pretty well on the camera, I think. Considering. Wow, the size of those rocks, it is just mind blowing. The more I keep looking at them, it's like amazement. Like the power of nature, folks, blasting these rocks all over the place wherever it wants to. Some of them could have been deposited for glaciers, and other ones has just broken off the rock face further up. They've rolled down the hill, tumbling, crashing and breaking into all these parts that we can see now, creating this wild landscape. And I mind last time I came out here on the adventure, I nearly slipped. I nearly went down there. Crazy. Anyway, folks, real adventures. Right, folks, we've been standing here at this cave, just taking it all in, enjoying the scenery, and now we're about to head back down. It's insane. This is a crazy descent right here, because it can be super slippy. Even last time when we came it was dry, but I still slipped. So today it's an extreme slippy situation, folks. And then check it out, the secret cave up there, folks. Definitely worth a visit. And it's crazy how fragile this rock is here. In a place like this, you always have to be keeping it safe to the best of your ability. So rocks are always on the move. And this is insane, folks. You can see there's like low cloud hanging in the valley up there. And it's freezing cold conditions. But at least there's not really much wind today. This is the secret cave rock here, folks, and we're about to have a look at that bit where the light shines through into the cave. Oh, it's steep. Steep Scottish hill, folks. Most commonly trekked through by sheep. Sheep probably live in that cave regular, eh? Those rock faces up there, folks, above the cave here on the hill are just insane. People do climb them, but when you see them in the winter, you wouldn't be wanting to climb them at all, folks. Like literally, this bit's just freshly broke off them and stuff. You can see the more recent bits where rocks fall. It's just a constant thing, and they can fall at any time. You always hate to have your wits about you on a hill like this. We would just hit a shelter in here, the corner of this little cave. And check it out, sheep probably come down in here, eh?
Yeah.
If it was dry, you could get into the cave through there. Oi! It's insane. Massive rocks, which have just fallen down the hill at one time, creating all this wild landscape. But if you were ever camping in a place like this, you'd be better with a bit like this where you're protected from any rocks or something that were to fall down the hill. Because this would kind of push them over your head, the worst of them. It would probably be a rude awakening, so. Crazy, folks. These paths here will just purely be the sheep normally, probably. Check it out, you wouldn't even know there's like a whole room underneath that. There's some more like insane big rocks up there, eh, but you wouldn't know if there was a cave underneath them or no. Other rocks are just sitting so precariously. It's insane that they've landed like that. And you can see the number of stones which have fallen off this hill over the years. It's like scary to imagine that happening. Some of those massive ones that's landed down there, it's like the size of a house just rolling down the hill. Crazy though. It's insane to record all this and come on these adventures, folks. Like the landscape, like you never know what you're going to see. And a bit of land like this, eh, it's just like wild. But we've been lucky with the weather today for sure, because the rain's off up here and everywhere else we went, it's been crazy rain, folks. But here we are. You would think in the wild glen up on the hill, kind of rain, and that would be worse than ever, but it just goes to show, and it can be decent. And that view up over these snowy hills, just incredible scenes once again here, folks. Right, folks, we're making our way down this steep incline, or decline, what would it be called? We're declining this hill now. Is that a word? So we're now just descending this hill here, folks, from this cave-like stone that we were just standing at the side of. And we're hoping, there's like a stone the last time we went in, it was balancing on top of another stone that like defeats gravity almost. So we're going to go and try and have a look at that. So we're making our way over this wild hill. Just keeping an eye out for any stone that could come flying down the hill, basically, folks. Anyway, let's get into it. There's some amount of stone, like pebbles, been washed in here in the storms in the glen, folks. It's insane. Oh, well, there's a bit of quartz out of one of the stones.
See all the different layers.
Yeah. See, these stones could have at one time been here since the glaciation period in the glens. And like scratches and stuff sometimes used to be made on the stones from the ice shifting and moving. But that could have been while these stones were still connected to the rock face up there. Because it is insane rock faces and cliffs just all around. Little waterfalls and stuff just coming off the wild hill. And it's like one of the best landscapes to explore. Look at the size of these massive rocks here in front of us, eh? Wow. It's rocks of biblical proportions. Each one of them bigger than a double-decker bus. They would have come flying down the hill at one time. This is one of the most insane bits for the rocks. And look up there, there's a huge cliff and you can see that it's like a dangerous overhang. So no wonder rocks are coming down here regular. If any more come flying down here, we'll just try our best to avoid them, folks. That's all we can do. This is one of the most crazy bits here, eh? Yeah, I think there's a path this way. If we could call it a path. Because that looks so extreme, eh? Here, I didn't even remember seeing all these the last time we were here. But look at the cliff up there. It looks like almost it has fallen recently.
Oh, way up there, eh?
Yeah. But the moss on these doesn't look like doesn't look fresh. Wow, I just can't mind seeing these huge stones. It's like rocks of mind-blowing proportions, and look at that. Almost like a cave, but look, there's running water under there.
Yeah.
Wow, the size of these stones, folks. It's crazy, like, see the size of this and stuff, eh? If it landed on your head, boom, you'd be a goner. Like every one of these stones, eh? Yeah. Yeah, because in the summer we went right across there, eh, at one point, somewhere. Nah. It just shows you there's probably 100 different lines you could walk over this hill and you'd probably see other crazy stuff each time. It would be amazing to find some old like fossils or something that was like in the rocks. Can't believe the size of that. There's loads of holes going away down between the rocks. That's the sort of stuff you would have to watch it, didn't they fall down that. Look at that, folks. This middle rock's fractured when this one's landing on top of it. Wow. I think most of these stones have come from the highest peaks up there. There is a slight drizzly rain on it once again. But we're in it for the adventure, folks. Look, there's that balancing stone. Wow. It's a natural stone which is balanced there, folks. Look here, there's a big one up there which is precarious as well. Some of these ones here are more precariously positioned. And like that one, we'll have to go up to it. So that's a big one rolled, eh? You'd get wiped out, I'd get wiped out. Yeah, because if one big one started rolling, it would like create other ones to roll, wouldn't it? Insane, folks. That's the thing, if the rocks was rolling down to bits would be chipping off them and fleeing. It would be like bullets. There really isn't much you could do. You would just have to run. Look at this, folks. It's absolutely insane. The way this rock just balances here. It's like a triangular shaped rock as well. It's resting on this one as well. It's probably no good idea to walk on this rock. Wow. It's crazy to imagine it rolling down the hill and ending up like that. Yeah. Balancing up there. What are you saying?
The way the top rock's balanced, right? If it was any further over to the left,
yeah,
then that rock will become unbalanced because there's nothing at this corner holding.
Yeah, it's just totally balanced randomly, eh? The way this is sitting here, folks, it's like, looks like it shouldn't be. Because there's hardly anything even touching on the rocks below.
Yeah, if that top rock was there, then that other rock would just come tumbling back.
Yeah. Listen, there's water running under here. This is insane, folks. Real adventures. We're going right up to the edge of it to have a look. See, in the summer, last time I was here, it seemed easier to get up here. It's quite an extreme landscape. And obviously fresh rocks are still falling in here. Any moment it could all just start rumbling, folks. But just check this out, eh? It's like a natural wonder of Glen Clova. And it's insane. Because the size and the weight of that stone, absolutely insane, folks. And it's so cool to come on these adventures and see this. When we came to the cave, it's so cool to come to this rock as well. Video it for the world to see. Check the way it's balancing there. So that is epic, folks. Like the way it's balancing on that tiny corner and then just on the edge of this stone. And then for the fact that that one's so perfectly balanced, you consider this one here's balanced on top of it. It's such a fluke of nature that any of that would occur. Look, this stone here's holding it, but literally half of it's just hovering there. If any of these stones moved, it would just go. And it's epic. And it's such a rare place. I don't think a lot of people come here and nobody really even knows about this. But it's so worth seeing. And it is literally like, from this angle, folks, it's like a stone mushroom. But it is cool. But that's what we're all about, folks. The adventure to find stuff like this and then documenting random stuff like that. Like the chance of it landing like that is what makes it such a crazy, like it's a feat of nature, if there's ever been such a thing. In the summer months too, folks, this is prime adder territory here. They lie out on the rocks and get a heat during the day, and then at night they're retiring underneath the stones. Probably at this time of year they'll be hibernating under here. Look at this, folks, there's a better route here, I think. So cool, folks. When we first found this, we were just in awe, and like I forgot how precarious it was even balanced sitting there. Because there's so many stones on this hill, it's easy to miss something like that, but again, there's no other ones like that. When that stopped there, it must have just been teetering, way to fall, and then it just landed back, balanced. But the way that cliff looks up there, obviously there's fresh rocks falling. Again, any day of the week, any time, could happen. And that's what makes this wild landscape, where it looks like there's just been an explosion of rocks, all different shapes and sizes. Each one of these stones would have been a drama coming down the hill.
See, when you look towards the cave, you can see the rock coming away from the other rock.
Oh aye, at the top.
Aye.
Yeah, it's so fragile over by that cave. It's literally just a way to cave in. The cave's a way to cave in, folks. But see, if that did cave in that rock there, it still wouldn't affect the cave. Because that's at this side of it. It's more if you're approaching the cave, you really hate to watch out. But probably above our heads right now, there's loads of rocks like that that's just hanging on by the last thread. These trees here have just started growing out of the wild hillside. And some of those stones, you can see, like, for all the size of the tree, there's piles of stones behind each end. And that shows the frequency of the rock falls. It's enough to create a pile up of stones behind the trees.
Well, the tree roots growing would probably create some of the rock falls.
Yeah. Insane, folks. Anyway, we're about to head on down with this adventure. It's crazy, there's some big ones over here as well. I think the last time we walked down, we were way over there at the far side of the hill. These hills in front of us, with these mountain peaks just disappearing into the clouds, it's like such an atmosphere in a place like this. It's the character of the Glen, folks. It's wild and rugged, and the scenery is just breathtaking. And we're lucky just to have this on our doorstep. Today we've been at the coast watching wild waves and stuff, and then now this second adventure, we're way up here in the hills, and it's two epic locations, and close proximity. And that makes us super lucky here in Scotland to have such a wide variation within like an hour's drive. But I can hear the roar from the river over here. So it must be flowing pretty strong.
I don't know if that would be the river or the waterfall.
Oh, aye. Could be the waterfalls there, folks. Channel DJ is just saying. If you didn't hear him. Sometimes it comes out, long range audio sometimes comes out on the video, other times it doesn't pick it up. But those waterfalls are running strong. Yeah. Insane, folks. And check it out, these trees have just grown out the wild hillside. It's right, a right mossy area here under the trees. Insane. Some of these rocks look different to the others. Some of the rocks are grey and some of them are red. So there could be any sort of like rocks up on that cliff face. Insane. Some of it looks like granite, but then other bits it looks more like a grey sandstone type of rock. So it's hard to say. Just check out the colour of this one, folks. See, like even over this direction there's an insane cliff kind of structure there. It's just like massive mounds of rock sticking out the land. Over at the other side it looks super interesting as well, with loads of rocks. And the landscape's always just changing. If you come at different times of year often, it's like coming to a totally different location. And there's so many different routes through here you can take, it's quite a cool adventure, folks. There is a lot of sheep shit though. Right, folks, that's been a crazy adventure and we've made it off the top of that wild hill. From here you can't even tell there's caves or like that balancing rock ups and stuff up there. It's all just hidden there in the glen. And then this landscape around here makes it a special adventure. But anyway, we've made it back to the Honda, so I'll end it here. Goodbye for me, goodbye for the channel DJ, and we'll see you very soon with the next adventure, folks.